Hi.
Hello.
Okay. So hi everyone. Um, Emil and Dima here. I hope you are all doing well. And if you saw if you were here from the start and you saw kind of the stay tuned for see you in the next. So don't worry, we're just starting. Um, I just needed to disable that prior to the stream, but it's fine. Dima, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Did you see this new countdown background? It looks like we're in an Apple event or something.
Uh, yeah, I think Apple is definitely kind of setting the standard for what um, I guess aesthetics is actually supposed to be. And gradually it's just going there amongst everyone. And I think it's great. I think it's very good.
Yes,
The
it is.
aesthetic.
I will need to jump off from the Apple Park and zoom in, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Speaking
don't
of,
if you actually saw the cover for this particular live stream. I think the design is pretty slick. Um, I don't know if the folks here saw it or not, but this is going to be also the cover um, for the recording of this stream. So I think you're going to like it.
nice.
Anyway, um, so Dima, what you been up to for the past 3 weeks? Have you came across anything interesting, Novu wise or maybe technology wise in general?
Yeah, I think we are currently in the midst of quite a big rewrite to parts of our dashboard and UI experience based on a lot of the feedback we got in the past, maybe I would say like 6, 5, or even more months. So we kind of decided to establish a new baseline and kind of make sure we incorporate all of the feedback, addressing quite a lot of the challenges people have been facing. So we are. The team is currently working on, and I just had kind of the first previews of the new designs, which are extremely sleek. We ended up changing quite a lot of our foundational design systems, utilizing ShadCN and Radix behind the hood, kind of to try to apply our own design system and styles on top of that. So there is a bunch of new exciting things coming in, and if you are following us on GitHub, take a look at the new dashboard folder under the app, which is kind of we got the initial scaffold, the layout. Some of the main pages are already out there. There is a brand new, sleek, new user interface, but we're also focusing quite heavily on the UX flows and kind of how to make sure that workflow creation, workflow editing, content editing is happening on the UI itself. And the team kind of got quite awesome tech stack selection, just kind of to make sure that we can address and not invest heavily in foundational stuff, but focus on kind of what's core to our behavior, core to our product. So we'll be soon doing write-ups and potentially here even in the office hours with some of our team members to kind of showcase and maybe sneak preview some of the work that is happening. um, and yeah, it's been quite a busy couple of weeks for the team. I was actually on vacation for in the
That's why it was busy.
yeah in the last week, so everybody was working and I didn't interrupt anyone from the team. But when I got back, we started kind of prepping some of the release notes and the product update, which will be rolling out quite soon. So there is a bunch of stuff we can cover. Actually, some of it here. Emil and I just came back from a demo day
Yeah.
internally, and some really exciting stuff. And we'll be zooming in today in one topic specifically, but we can also touch on some of the other stuff we've been showcasing.
Yeah, so this time I'm actually going to share my screen. So please be mindful of this. If something is not kind of working smoothly enough, just let us know in the chat or in the comments. Well, in the chat, yeah, the comments we will not see them really. So
I'm taking a look at the comments, so
all
we
right,
can.
good, good. So yeah, let's just kind of go over the change log, and then we will do a bit of a deep dive. And I think that let's not do it from the most recent one. Let's let's, I think,
Yeah, I think we can start from the boldness.
all the ball. Okay, good, good. All right. So yeah, what is it? What is it about? I mean, it's pretty obvious. But please walk us through.
Yeah, so actually, if you can quickly glance, we've been doing the new playground for the inbox recently. If you can show it quickly.
Yeah,
And we've actually worked on a couple of themes. We got by now the Notion and Reddit themes. And Novu, we kind of do quite a lot of in the industry so-called dog fooding, which means that we try to run internally multiple products as well as actually running our inbox on our dashboard platform. So we've been trying to replicate some of the common platforms, and one of the things we've noticed, and this is also came internally from feedback we've had, is actually the ability to highlight or make bold part of the content while not the rest of it. So this is something we've added recently. So this is works like similar to Markdown kind of style, where you would wrap something with a double, how do you call
yeah,
it, asterisk. And we are looking for feedback if any other styling like italic or some of those other type of styles are needed. Feel free to reach out to us about it, and it will be really cool to kind of you know show how things are working. So that's the boldness part
yeah.
on the
And I also shared the link to the inbox playground, which you can basically play around with. I think that we have also showcased this playground and kind of what it is and what it's for in the previous office hours. But again, feel free to go have a look, play with it a bit. Although we do encounter some bugs that we are um, continuously fixing or kind of changing. So don't really worry about if something is not kind of quiet there or as expected. Like just feel free um, to go. Where's the repository? I need to open this. I will also send the repository here. Yeah. So if you encounter any kind of stuff that you would like to report or suggest, just go to the issues of this inbox playground repository, open something, and let us know um, how we can really fix or improve it, or maybe even add. So, all right, this is about the bold text there. What about this one?
Yeah, so it's actually a couple of things here, and we are going to publish soon in 2.4 quite a lot of updates to the preference themselves and preference management in general. This particular thing is kind of really the first one that is tackling the use case of, okay, we might have multiple types of users on our platform. Let's say we have admins, we have regular users, and we want to, some workflows are just not relevant, right, for all users. So let's say you are kind of a marketplace where you have buyers and sellers. You might not want to show in the preference some workflows in their preference for things that are only related, let's say, to the sellers, right, to the buyers, because it's different types of users. So with this new attribute, and this is basically the preference filter, you can mark specific workflows with specific tags. So let's say you want to have a workflow that is only relevant for admins or general or shared. And basically, this filter allows filtering out specific preferences in the user interface. So people who should not see specific workflows, they will actually not be seeing them. So this is coming together, and tomorrow we are going to publish the change log. This is actually already live on the dashboard itself, and our cloud interface is basically the ability also to more granularly control what users will be able to modify, what not, what will be read only. So we are providing much more flexibility on that end for both critical workflows, but also the default behavior for some of the channels. This is coming to support also to the framework SDK and also to the user interface on the dashboard, where non-technical team members can actually go and modify this without touching the code of the workflow itself. So there's a bunch of really cool stuff, along as improvements on the activity feed itself. So basically how we actually showing if a user haven't received a message, okay, why exactly haven't he received it? Because of the defaults, because of he opted out of something, So there is a bunch of really cool things that are about to come, and we'll be publishing some more material in the upcoming week and beginning of next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that, like, just as give an example of, for example, a use case is when um, when you want to, again, think about it usually first from a user perspective, like think about your users basically. Um, what if they would want to receive critical notifications, but they would decide to, like, you could decide for them what will be the default option and what they could maybe customize a bit for their preferences. For example, if they're not really active on email enough, or they're not very heavy email users, but they would actually prefer to, I don't know, receive the critical notifications about, I don't know, the deployment has failed, maybe the email is not the best place to notify the users about it. Maybe they would much rather get an SMS, or maybe you could also connect, I don't know, WhatsApp or Telegram, or like something, some sort of message that will notify the users where they really active, to make sure that they will see and act as needed. So this is kind of the main perspective and the main point of the notification preferences for the
Yeah,
users. Um, and this is very powerful. Basically, this is the real kind of um, experience improvement, or experience notification experience level up type of stuff. If you are really able to opt this type of stuff in your application and services.
yeah. In the end, I think it's all about control, right? And we want to provide, on one hand, sensible defaults as an organization, right? But we don't
Yeah.
want to force all of our users basically throughout the same kind of filter and saying, hey, we know exactly what they do and they can't change anything. Because from our experience, what usually happens when those types of things are going on is that users will in the end just say, hey, you know what, if you don't have granular enough control, they'll just say, hey, I just don't want to receive anything from you, because that's the easiest thing to do. Usually you are forced by
Yes.
GDPR and a lot of kind of the regulations to do it. But this is a huge opportunity, miss, because in the end, what you want to give really to the user is to make sure that he's getting what he's interested in, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
channels he's actually more active in. So it won't spam his email, or on the contrary, his mobile phone. And I think it's all kind of tied down. And this is like a really great, I think, legway into our next topic, which is
Yeah.
mobile, right?
Yeah.
Is I think this duality between preferences and the inbox, at least the way I see it personally, is that the inbox is kind of this place where you are focused on, you are currently in the application, you are currently, okay, what do I need to do kind of mode, right? It happens to me in tools like, you're all familiar with them, with like Notion, GitHub, and like the other platforms, where you are currently within the application. So you might have received a push or an email, which might got lost, because Google is doing very hard to kind of try to group things and put them in different promotional tabs. Same goes with push notifications today, that iOS devices, and the recent release of iOS also kind of doubles down on this, is try to aggregate notifications. So a lot of times what happens with products is the push, you might know, oh, I've received a push about something, somebody mentioned me in Notion somewhere, but I never actually go in my phone and try to find where this where this specific notification is, because iOS is kind of doing quite a lot, and I have like gazillions of
Yeah.
notifications
Yeah. A bunch of apps. Exactly.
but I think this is the power of the inbox, right? This is where I know, oh, okay, now it's Notion time. I'm kind of going into the application. I'm going into the inbox. I'm seeing, okay, what have I missed, right? What requires my attention? And this kind of leads us back to the mobile part, is where we actually released the new React Native package to build real-time notification experiences within like the React Native platform, or the mobile platforms in general. And that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we actually got some really cool demo for you, and some sample project that Emil has crafted in. And yeah,
Yeah,
Emil.
yeah. Let's dive into it. And just so you know, this is really really new. Like you can basically see that the package was published like basically not even a week ago, and you could be among the the first 1,000 downloads of this package to
It's
test
like,
it out.
you should have those marks like in YouTube is like first.
Yeah. Actually, it would be really amazing. Unfortunately, NPM does not really provide that type of kind of data, but it's fine. I mean, it's probably an idea for me, but we'll see. So, to those of you who, I guess, so many people, and I know from the community, actually, were asking for React Native support for a long time to just integrate notifications or in-app notifications into their mobile apps, which is makes sense. It's almost kind of already a basic need, and yeah, and we finally actually shipped something that is catering to you to those who are falling under this category. And to showcase how it actually works, I decided to use Expo. And if you're not really familiar with Expo, although I do believe that React Native developers and mobile developers are actually pretty familiar with it, because it's pretty huge deal in terms of um, developer experience and how you actually developing mobile applications.
I
Um,
got a small flashback into some of the time I've done some mobile stuff with Cordova, and like the old platforms, like kind of writing. And I think Expo did an amazing job. I first actually saw an incredible work from the Ionic team, the Ionic framework, I think they're called, which we've used and kind of simplified this quite a lot for the React Angular based
yeah.
platform on top of Cordova, and then Expo with React Native. I think it's such a time saver for the whole life cycle. I think for
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think kind of one of the most like I have two main things that really caught me in terms of developer experience, which is just on another level, which is the ability to like if you have the Go Expo application on your phone, you can instantly scan this QR code, or when you are basically building your application and scanning the QR code, you can instantly interact with an app uh, from your mobile device and just see and feel how it looks like and how it feels like and how it behaves, which is again making the experience so much better and so much in tuned into what you really striving for as a mobile developer. So it's amazing. And another thing that actually I discovered pretty recently is that now you also have an API router in Expo. It's actually supported. A bit similar, or maybe even extremely similar to what you have in Next.js, basically, where you can export an API inside of your Expo application, which is then able to make API calls or maybe expose particular parts of your application. But again, this is just me geeking out a bit about Expo because I really enjoyed the development process. Um, but I will do a very kind of brief walkthrough of how it's been done and how you can do it as well. So all I did is I just went and took this command, like npx create expo app. I decided I picked um, one of the templates. I think I picked a template with a navigation because I wanted to have two tabs that I can basically switch between. And that's all. I wanted to make it kind of extremely basic, extremely straightforward, and just see how I would add notifications powered by Novu on the back end of this. So we have like if you are running the application, I actually might just create briefly another another case here, just so you would know how it looks like. Oh, sorry. Um, yeah, I just wanted you to know how it looks like. So I basically just npx create expo latest. It installs all the dependencies, and what I need to do then is just to select one of their starting templates, um, and that's what I did. It's just very 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 basic stuff. We might not really wait for it to happen. Sometimes it can take a while.
To
So
the infinity. And I
to
think
the yeah,
one thing to note is obviously, we are not necessarily coupled to working with Expo. If you have
yeah,
your existing custom build with React Native, those will be supported as well.
absolutely,
There's
absolutely.
no,
So yeah, so just going over the actual kind of structure of the application. So you have this, would call it kind of the root of the application with the navigation with the tabs directory, and we have the layout and the two tabs. So the first tab is the home screen, and the second tab is the updates screen or notification screen. This is kind of the way that I decided to divide those two, and just to make the use case or the application just a bit more fun, instead of just kind of having hello world on the main tab and the notification on the second one, I decided to make it just a bit more interesting and to actually scrape the change log of Novu and present it from within the app. So if you will go to the application, you could find it. But all what's happening in here is to initialize the application again with the Novu. Of course, we are installing the Novu React package, and we need to wrap the components that are using the React hooks with Novu provider. Um, and here, if you had any experience before with the inbox, basically all the information you need or all the values you need is the subscriber ID and the application identifier, which you can find pretty simply here in the subscribers. Again, very simple kind of to initialize this so you could test it out. And I've created two components. One component, which is taking all the notification interface elements. So as you can see here, we have the notification structure with the subject, body, all the values of is the notification read, is it archived, when it was created, and so forth. And all I did is just took all this and made a design for how I want the notification to actually look like and behave. Um, and then I have um, another component, which is just taking all those notifications and rendering them as a list with with the infinite scroll and so forth. So let's just I think I hyped enough the application, so let's just try it out. I can explain it till tomorrow. So again, it's pretty quick. Again, if you will, even right now, you would scan this QR code. You could test it out on your phone. But I'm just going to use um, my iPhone simulator here, and it's going to open an iPhone 15 Pro.
look at
Um,
you, fancy.
fancy. We have 16 already, but yeah. So don't worry. Like I do have kind of a small bug in here, but once you press the go to home screen, you would see the main tab. So this is the change log with the titles, and this is the actual change log of Novu. So you have in the top kind of the most recent, and one cool thing is when you actually clicking on learn more, you would actually be navigated into a browser tab of the changelog to learn more. So it's pretty cool. But the I know the main show is actually here. So here you have the updates tab with the the count of the notifications that are on read, so you would know how many actually are on read. You have kind of all the flexibility or kind of the feel of, for example, an entire kind of infinite scroll as long as you have notifications there. To render more, you just kind of taking it back or taking it down. If you are clicking on the notification, it's basically mark this as read. Again, everything is just using React hooks on the backend. And if you are holding the application, you can mark as unread or archive. So for example, if I'm doing archive, this application will not be really seen here anymore. Um, One thing that I have not really integrated here yet is the redirect of the buttons. So, for example,
So
the
very
idea,
accepting contributors, Emil. It's like
yeah,
I got
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
game up my Oktoberfest.
Absolutely. Actually, yeah, that is this is could be a really cool call to action. So, if you guys are interested, you can visit this repository. Again, it sits under Novo organization on GitHub. You can really see how it looks like, how it behaves, and I guess the main thing could be like if you would like to just contribute your design of how you would envision the notifications to look like. Um, Again, with all the attributes and with all the fields and the data that Novu offers every time that it sends an in-app notification, like please do it and please share it with us. We can maybe have some another kind of repository with all the examples, but it could be really slick if someone would do it. So we are really encourage you to do it. Um, and yeah, I think kind of this is it. It's pretty simple, but it works, and it's pretty fun. It was an interesting experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I
Yeah,
think boiling down, to the end user experience, I think having a place showing, the different push messages available to the user I think is a must,
yeah,
to really get this sense of engagement and getting the value out of the notifications. Is like something happened, and then looking specifically, okay, what exactly has happened, when I'm able to zoom in and see it in my actual feed within the application itself. I think it's extremely powerful.
yeah, yeah. And again, I think kind of when you are drilling down into the customizability of what you can actually do, I think it's pretty limitless. So you can really go far and beyond of like just using your particular use case and how you think the experience could be. One thing that I do believe that could be very useful in particularly to this use case or to this example is maybe integrate also Expo as a push provider, and then you you can basically configure a workflow which is sending an in-app notification and then wait for I don't know a particular amount of time before it's going to send an actual push notification to the user's device if they are not within the app.
Yeah.
So again, you can really customize the notification experience in the mobile field, and I think it's pretty huge.
Yeah, and we have a question from the audience,
Oh yeah.
by Faisal Ahmad. Great work, guys. Will this component work on React Native CLI apps or only on Expo based? And I think we touched this previously. Yes, it's going to work on any React Native project, regardless of Expo.
Yeah.
We just did an example with Expo because it's cool, but feel free to use it with any custom setup or build
Yeah,
pipeline.
yeah, absolutely. This is in not really limited to Expo whatsoever. It's just uh, we decided to go with it because of the developer experience and because we could really um, drive it really fast to completion and to really show something cool. But yeah, it's definitely will work with React Native kind of regardless if it's Expo or not. All right. So this is kind of was a very short, very brief office hours, folks. I really Thankful for all of you that decided to join, spend some of your time here with us, and to get those updates. We really appreciate that. If you want to find out more, learn more, please join our Discord server. I think the link will be in the description, or already in the description anyway, in the YouTube channel. And do we have any other announcement, Dima?
Yeah, I think stay tuned. We're going to share some really cool nuggets in the next couple of days and next week as well. Some really cool stuff, and then we'll be sharing also the next events we'll be holding up. So thank you all for coming, and thank you, Emil, for the demo. It was awesome.